So this is that if statement I was talking about. We're checking that we are in the main module. Don't worry about it, what it does. Just write that. Just do that. It's not important what it really does. Or it's not important for you to understand. It's important for you to write though. So then we're saying word is going to be equal to pick a random word. So since this is the start of the game, we've got word, and we're going to call the function pick random word. So it's going to pick a random word, and it's going to return that, and then it's going to set that to word. So now we have a word with a random word in it. And we're creating a letters to guess, which is the set of word. So it's just a set of all the letters in that word. What set does is it breaks it up into all the specific indexes. So strings also have indexes, same as how lists have indexes. Strings have indexes. And so the first letter is index 0, second letter is index 1, and spaces count as indexes. So, but we don't have to worry about spaces because our random word strips it. So we set it to, we make this list or this set of all of these letters individually. Then we create an empty set of the correct letters because nobody has guessed anything. Then we create a empty set of the incorrect guesses, and then the number of guesses. So those were all the variables we had to create. We go back to this. So we create our function, our three functions. We haven't done the text file yet, but we made sure we're working in the main module, and now we're creating the variables. We created word, letters to guess, correct letters guessed, incorrect letters guessed, and number of guesses. So let's go back up so I don't forget. Let's create the text file. So all you have to do, I have mine right here. But so in my Hangman test, make sure you're on your Hangman project folder. You're going to do file, whoops, not file open, file new untitled text file. And so now in here, oh wait, that's not correct. It's file, new file. Yeah, so new file, we're putting it in this folder, and then we're just gonna name it words, all lowercase, .txt, and click finish. So now in here we have this words.txt, and we can make a list of words. We can say plastic, garbage, Michael. Just add a bunch of words, hangman. So that's all of your words that can show up in your game now. So now when your pick random word goes to run, it's going to open words.txt. And it'll find that as long as it's in the same project folder. If this text file is not in the same project folder, it won't find it. So then, now we've just completed this part. We've completed all the variables. Now the next part is to welcome the user. Welcome to Hangman. That's it. Next part is to loop it. So now we're going to create the start of our loop that'll loop the whole game. So while we're just going to do a while loop, we're going to say while the length of letters to guess is more than 0. So while we still have letters to guess, and the number of guesses is less than 6, because we want we don't want them to guess more than 6 times. After 6 times, they lose. So while the length of letters to guess, while they still have letters to guess, it's not quite 0, and the number of guesses is less than 6, then do this stuff down here that's indented. So that's our loop. The first step in our loop is to get a guess. We're going to ask the user for next letter. So we're going to call this function. It's going to return a letter, and we're going to set it to guess. And then we're going to dot lowercase that letter just to make sure that we have it lowercase. So that's just to make sure that it's in lowercase. Then we're going to say if guess is in correct letters guessed. So if it's in correct letters guessed, or you have to put this slash here. I can't tell you exactly why because I can't exactly explain it, but just make sure that's there. Or guess is in incorrect letters. So we're saying if it is in correct letters or if it is incorrect letters, then you're going to print you already guessed that letter. And then it's going to continue, which is going to skip this part and go back to the beginning of the loop. So it's going to continue the loop. Then we're going to say if guess is in letters to guess, then we're going to remove that letter from get. We're going to remove that letter from letters to guess and add it to correct letters guess. Does that make sense? So we're going to, if the letter is in our letters to guess, we're going to remove it from letters to guess so that we know that we've already done it. We're going to add it to correct letters guess. Else is everything else if guess isn't in letters to guess, then we're going to add it to incorrect letters guessed, and we're going to add the number of guesses plus 1. Notice if they guess correctly, we don't add number of guesses. It's only if they guess incorrectly. Then the last thing we're going to do in the loop is create a word string. So it's a variable word string that is going to be the return value of whatever generate word string returns. So you know what this function does. It's going to be equal to whatever that returns. We're going to print that, and we're going to print how many guesses they have left. So there's this cool function called .format that replaces these brackets with whatever is inside of these parentheses. So inside these parentheses is the number of guesses 6 minus the number of guesses. So if they've guessed wrong 3 times, then they will have 6 minus 3, which is 3. And that 3 will be put into this bracket spot, replacing those brackets, and it'll say you have 3 guesses left. And then that's the end of the loop. So then it'll loop that all the way until either the length of letters to guess is 0, so they've guessed all the letters, because remember that our letters get removed every time we've guessed correctly. So once this is 0, or once we run out of guesses, let's rerun. Number of guesses is less than 6. Okay, whatever. I just had like a brain fart because I was thinking about the number of guesses. So while the length of letters to guess is more than 0 and the number of guesses is less than 6. Less than 6. Oh, correct, because number of guesses. Sorry, I had a brain fart. I don't know what I was thinking. But so keep going, and then once one of those two things happens, then it'll exit the if or the while loop, and we'll do our last part of the flow chart. So this is the loop. We got all of this inside of it. Then this is the end of the turns, and then then we print out the end of the game. So if number of guesses is less than 6, print this, and again we use the format. So you have guessed the word blank correctly, and it'll insert word with that. And then if they still had guesses left, like their guesses were still under 6, then they won. Otherwise, they lost. So that is our whole function, or our whole hangman.py. So now all you have to do is run it to check if you have any bugs. So I will just run mine, run as Python run. And so it's welcome to Hangman. Guess your letter. So I'll guess L. So you have 6 guesses left because I haven't guessed incorrectly. And now it's going to tell me to guess my letter again. I, G, M, A. So that's all of the words. I won. And that's it. We know that my function worked because there was no errors. So now I have to show you how to turn this in. So all you do is you navigate over to Canvas. You go to Canvas, and you're going to do the same thing as you did in the starting video where it tells you how to submit stuff. You're going to go over here, and you're going to find, let me go as a student so you can see exactly what it is. So now when I go over here to, oh no, you can't see it because I haven't released it. So I'm just going to submit it in project 1. Do not submit it in project 1, submit it. But so you're going to submit a file type. You're going to just submit, you're going to go to desktop, find your Python folder, go into the project folder, so go to Hangman, and submit this hangman.py. You don't need to submit the words.txt because I already have one, and I'll be able to check if it works just fine. So once you do all of that, make sure your cheat sheet is up to date. You submit that onto, so you should submit your project1.py, your project2.py, your cheat sheet after you add all the things we've gone over in this video, and then you're done for this week, and or you're done for this release, and you can go on with your day. So thank you for watching this. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. My email is, as usual, notepad. My email is mwilliams24@wisc.edu. If you have any questions, if you want to come to our live streams, you can just be on the radar for that. And just let me know if you need anything. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.